Chronicles of AghyNarnia. The Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
I completely said that wrong.
Okay, take two.
Right. Yeah.
Hello there. Welcome to the Chronicles of AghyNarnia, the podcast that delves into the lives of everyday legends as they tell us their stories, the tales of yesteryears gone by, and ones yet to come. I'm your host, Andy Dolan, a part-time teacher, part-time president of the John Candy Fan Club, full-time wind-up merchant. I'm here with my fantastic co-host and friend Claire Devine as we both navigate our way to chronicling these amazing stories into becoming myth and legend. What can I say about Claire? She is a diligent pharmacist by day, a talented artist/musician by night, and above all, a mother 24/7. We both grew up in a wonderful little place in the middle of nowhere called AghyNarnia, or as I've always called it, AghyNarnia. Whenever I told people where I was from, they would often struggle with how to pronounce AghyNarnia. They'd say, "Aye, what?" So after a while, I just found it easier to say I was from AghyNarnia. I would tell them you go about 5 miles out the road from Castlederg until you lose your phone signal. Not long after that, you'll come to a crossroads with an old abandoned wardrobe. Go beyond the wardrobe and turn left. But whatever you do, never turn right. We'll never find you again. So let me tell you about AghyNarnia, our beloved townland way out in the wild west of County Tyrone, way up yonder in the north of Ireland. It is a beautiful part of the world with its green meadows, roving hills, tranquil rivers, enchanting woodlands, and of course its charming inhabitants. So for our first season, home is where our podcast story begins. We'll meet some of the wonderful people of AghyNarnia, the AghyNarnians if you will, and hear their stories firsthand. There's something magical in the air around home, and there's something special in the water. Then again, we do have a distillery nearby, so maybe that's just the rum. The community here is 1 in a million, and over the journey of our podcast you'll find out why. In seasons to come, we'll venture further afield to other communities beyond the wardrobe, but never down that road to the right. In terms of socials, you can find us as AghyNarnia. So firstly, Claire, Cracky Chan, how are you?
I am doing great, thank you.
Maybe gigs there at the Roisin?
Oh yeah, we were in the Roisin on Saturday night and it went very well actually, yeah. It was good.
You
Good
broke
out
out the Travelling Soldier, I seen that
I
at the
did.
end.
Where did you see that?
Your sister had it on
Oh no,
Facebook.
I didn't know that.
She's always recording. Claire.
Oh my
Always.
god.
So, who's our special guest today?
We have Roisin McAnaw and Sean Dolan.
Wow.
Very welcome. Hello.
Thanks for having us.
It's a privilege to have you guys here. From knowing you both and meeting you over the last few years, Roisin just in the last year there, I knew whenever I started this, I thought I need to get these two people on, especially since you both knew each other from the AghyNarnia neck of the woods.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's the place.
Yeah.
So, let's kick us off here. Can you tell us some memories of your home and family life growing up in the area of AghyNarnia?
Yeah, in AghyNarnia where I grew up, our first house when we were really young, we were next door to my mum's parents, my grandparents. So a lot of memories I have would involve them. And they were always sort of part of everything we did growing up nearly. Granda used to come with us on the school run to St. Pat's, whatever, and then we just sort of always been out and out in between the houses, whatever, and all that.
Always good to have grandparents near, especially, you know, Claire,
Yeah, absolutely. Raising children, it takes a village.
It always takes a village.
Definitely.
What about yourself, Roisin?
So I'm not too far from AghyNarnia. I'm over in Carnolter, but pretty much the same family was always around and everything kind of revolved around that. Fond memories would be the hayfield, going to make hay bales, which would be a big thing. Related to AghyNarnia, there's not much you can do, as you know. It's all countryside and grass and hay. Again, family, like my aunts and uncles around and just being with them and enjoying the peace and the quiet of the country.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about an AghyNarnia house is always like people in and around calling in, telling their stories and having a yarn here and there.
Keelian, as they call it.
Keelian,
Yeah.
from house to house.
The house was never empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that too. Just always had visitors.
Oh, definitely.
As Daniel Donald says, always kettle
Yeah,
on the
on the
boil.
boil. Oh yeah.
Tell us about your family, Sean.
Yeah, so Dad's John, Mum's Jackie. Mum is the AghyNarnia connection there. My dad would be Cleater, 2 brothers, Thomas and Ronan, and I'm the eldest.
Would they have had the music in them as well? Like, would that have been passed to you, or is that something you picked up yourself?
The music kind of came from Granda next door, so it did. He had a wee mouth organ, and whenever I was really young, I must must have found it. I must have been poking in the cupboard or something. And I took it out and started making a bit of noise with it. And then he gave it to me. I tried to play a few tunes. I'd say it probably wasn't that great at the beginning. But that's
Took a bit of practice.
Oh, definitely did. But then that's sort of where I started. And then
What was your granddad called?
Tommy
Tommy.
Pearson, my granny Eileen. They had their 50th wedding anniversary, and just in the house, Charlie and Claire were doing the music
Oh
at it.
yeah.
Charlie was always sitting playing the accordion, and I sort of spotted it and thought, what's that? I wouldn't mind
I like
trying
that
that.
one.
Yeah.
What age would you have been then?
I was 7.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was 7 then, and I told my mum, I want to play the accordion, and she said, okay. And she's since told me that didn't know how long it was going to last or what the story was going to be. She didn't even know how to contact about the accordion, but contacted Gordon Spear, and he was doing the border arts at the time, and she said, look, young boy here, look maybe start the accordion. He said back, leave it with me. He was in the process of starting up lessons, and accordion was one of the instruments, so it was just a lot of luck there too.
Yeah. And who was your first teacher then?
Matthew Ward was his name, from Gorchin, just outside Gorchin. Had him first couple of years.
Yeah.
And then I suppose more local people, I would have had Sue Marie McAnaw.
Oh yes.
She taught me for a couple of years.
She was in our class at
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She taught me for a few years. Adrian Doherty, in the town there.
Yes.
So he taught me for a couple of years. A few teachers obviously since as well, but those would be the local ones.
It's fantastic to have that amount of people around. Like, Gorton's not even that far to go. Like,
No,
it's not.
but to have like that wealth of knowledge, people are, especially Gordon Spear.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so a lot of it was his arranging to get the lessons and stuff.
Yeah.
And then brothers would have started the music then as well.
Your brother plays the accordion too, is it? Or was he a different instrument?
Well, they both went for the muscle, and then Thomas made the decision to go towards the football inside instead of the music. And Ronan still plays. He plays the flute now, actually, and the drums.
The flute. Oh, wow.
I'm actually playing the Ceilidh band together up in Belfast.
Oh, very
Right.
good.
So we're only formed there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to compete in flags and stuff. And
What are you calling yourselves?
the Lagan Ceilidh band is called.
The
So,
Lag and Keeley band.
So-
And are you competing this year?
mm-hmm.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so we're
Brilliant. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Full rehearsal mode. It's just a collection of people that not necessarily from Belfast but are working or living in or studying in Belfast at the moment.
Yeah.
So we're put something together for that.
And he's up in Belfast now too. Do you know him? Plays the banjo. McGlinchy.
Oh yes.
John McGlinchy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another local man. Yeah.
Another
Yeah,
local man who
player.
plays the banjo. Yeah.
He was in that Fintna group I played with the Fintna group last year in the
Yeah.
group with Kill. He was in.
He was in that.
I was
too.
playing along with him in that too.
He won All Ireland last year too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were lucky.
So
last.
two of these from AghyNarnia
Yeah.
in the Fentanyl group that won the All Ireland. That is pretty amazing.
Wasn't too bad now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're happy with that one.
Yeah.
Our own Rory McElroy.
No. Yeah.
What about yourself, Rasheen? Tell us about your own family, your mum and dad, and your,
So
your siblings.
Mum is Ahern. Mum is just grew up beside where we live, Patricia. And my dad is Donegal. He was dragged across the border.
Kicking and screaming.
He's still Donegal.
Yeah.
There's no change
no
in that now.
converting them.
But no, we've always been in Carnalter. They moved there before I was born. So I have 2 sisters and a brother, Evelyn, and then Michael, Carrie, and me. I'm the youngest. 3 teachers in the house, which is
Oh,
interesting. Interesting to say the least.
A lot of crosswords, I would say. And
Yeah, couple of sharp ones in the house, but sure, we were all very close growing up. Carrie's is just the year above me, so nearly Irish twins, just missed out on it, but no, we're all very close that way. But no, we've no music or nothing. No, we're not that
You're
exciting.
Minded.
mathematically inclined, yeah.
yeah, they do say there's a connection between maths and music, but it doesn't work for me either. So
I hear there's a course starting in Belfast in Queens. It's a relation between music and maths.
Right.
There is a degree somewhere. I know a
Yeah.
girl.
Really?
There's maths with music or music with maths.
Wow.
Because there
I've
is
never
There's a
had-
big connecting thing with it.
Never
Yeah.
heard that before.
I think there's a lot of our own department, like Darren Barr. There's a lot of them that are musically gifted.
He's in a brass band.
He's
is
in a
it?
brass
Yeah.
band, yeah.
Mm.
But as I said, like for me, no, just not
You
translate.
missed it.
Not yet.
I'll start the course.
Still looking into it.
Well, do you know what? My mum has retired this year, and I'm not joking. You can start music at any age because it's. I'm not giving away her age. Since her retirement, she started playing the concertina and plays it every single day. And oh my God, you should hear her now.
Stuff.
Unbelievable. So yeah, you're never too late.
Never too late. I'll pick up something. The
Yeah.
spoons. Me and Rasheen can play the spoons.
No bother, we try that.
Are they all secondary school teachers, or
No, Evelyn and Carrie are both primary, so
you're the only secondary?
no, neither of them wanted to venture into. They were both told to try secondary, but Carrie is subbing at the minute, and she was looking for work, and I was like, I'll get you work in secondary school. She was like, no, I'd rather
interest.
just wait. Wait and get a job somewhere. I was like, okay.
Is your parents teachers or anything?
No, my aunt was a teacher. She went to England years ago to train as a teacher. But no, my cousins in Donegal, there's 3 of them and 2 of them are teachers. So
Oh, there you go.
there must be something in it somewhere. But no, none of the McAnaw side or just one on the McLaughlin side. So
Tell the truth. It's for the holidays. That's the
That's
reason
it.
we're in this job.
Yeah.
I'm all saying the 3 best things about teaching: June, July, and August.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
that's a bonus.
Yeah, I feel like you always need that
You
time
do.
because my brain is gone by June. It's finished. Like I would love to have what they have down south by finished by the end of
Yeah.
May,
Yeah.
because I've been saying this to people. Like I found it taking a bigger toll on me over the last few years. I just find that the summer has become, you're just waiting for it to happen just so you can relax and rest and get your brain right. But I just feel it's become, maybe it's just age, but foggier every year since. Teaching has changed so much. Like this is my 21st year teaching, and I've just seen it change the last 10 years so much. It is taking a bigger toll on the mind more so than the body, I would say. But you've all had ahead of you, I suppose.
Would you say then, would you find it's gotten worse since COVID, or?
Yeah, there's definitely been another kick up since COVID, but I feel like everything has changed in terms of there's more paper trails, more work, more ground to cover.
More work
Yeah.
to
And-
do and the less time. Yeah.
You're not expected, like teaching is the easiest part and the best part of it,
Yeah.
but it's everything
It's
else.
all the same with nursing, same with pharmacy, same, you know, it's
Yeah.
just what the demand that they put on you now. Just add in all this extra paperwork.
But no extra time.
No extra time, no extra
time to
money.
do it, and you're still expected to do the same job you were meant to be doing before on top. Yeah.
Hard to see where it'll all.
Yeah, something's got to give at some point.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be, I don't know, mass revolt or something.
I think. Yeah. Everybody down tools. Well, is it like in Finland or something? They do a 4-day week maybe?
Yeah.
For like everybody works 4 days and there's no more.
I would not be opposed to that.
Still get paid the same. But I think even that about the education system, it's kind of, you're not learning the things that you want to learn. It's just like a curriculum that's been maybe just forced at people, and there's not as much enjoyment.
There's a lot of, when am I ever going to use this in real life?
Yes.
If it, like that question, you're like, get your maths GCSE. I have to cover a course right now. But it's constantly, when will I ever use this? Or how does this apply to me if I want to be this? And you're like,
It's so true though.
yeah.
Yeah, I just keep saying that you need a C so that you can apply for a lot more jobs
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just keep your options open.
Yeah.
What you use after that, it's on you.
Yeah.
Had that a few times. A lot of it you agree with. You agree with what they're saying, but
Yeah.
just say, look,
This is the way it has to be. This is the way I'm told to do it. So kind of.
Yeah.
this is life at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. What I wanted to ask, if you could describe like a typical Christmas day or even a family get together in your own families.
Christmas Day for me would always be up as soon as possible in the morning to open up the presents. when I was
Mum and
younger.
Dad would love that.
Oh yeah, I certainly did, and that doesn't really change so much as the years go on. I'll be honest here. What was supposed to be a wee bit different between me and my brothers would have been they'd been sitting playing their toys, and then my mother would say, "Right, Sean, get ready because you're playing at the morning mass or whatever." So I'd be away for a couple of hours and I'm playing something for the Christmas morning mass, and then just racing back up the road to get back to the toys.
Fair play, because that's not easy. Like it's,
No. Did you mind, like, or were you?
No.
You enjoy playing, you see?
Yeah, obviously yes, you wanted to see your new toys, or whatever,
Yeah.
but it wasn't ever an issue. Like, it was.
No.
You
It
enjoyed
wasn't like a
it.
chore because you
No,
enjoyed it.
No.
Yeah.
So then Christmas dinner for us would always have been in Granny's next door.
Ah, okay.
So we'd all go up there for that, and then that night family would come around to Granny's as well. That would be the sort of the central point, and we'd be having whatever crack and whatever games then into the wee small hours.
Yeah.
What kind of games would you be at?
It would have been card games usually, or if you've got a game maybe that from Santa, you would have brought
Yeah.
that up to use.
Yeah.
Because even like with the power was off this year,
Yeah.
I found ourselves going to card games and just the crack that you have with your own family, and you don't nearly need
Without anything else.
Yeah, just glad we got our dinner. So,
Yeah.
what about you, Roisin?
Well, we always went to mass on the night before, so yeah, Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
so that we didn't have to get up
Yeah,
and go
go
away,
in the morning.
leave the toys as such. So we would have got up as early as possible again, tried to make as little noise as possible coming down the stairs, and just sat in the living room until we were told go get dressed. And then
Gunners on.
yeah, best clothes on, like you would have got something new for Christmas. And we went down, our nana's was just down the field. For years when we were younger, that's where we went. We had our dinner down there with my Aunt Marion and her family, and then my Uncle Paddy. We were there to maybe probably like 7, 8 o'clock, get tidied up, and then we would go over to Granny's in Donegal and just again sit chatting. Don't know if there was many games, but chatting. We would have been showing toys that probably people had no interest in. But just that being with it was being with family, and even since like we stay now at home for Christmas dinner, but like going over after visiting people, that's the main, like it's just the main bit of it all.
Yeah, everybody getting together. What did you get from Santa?
And then back home and open presents under the tree. That was the one thing we used to do too.
Midnight mass. Well, it used to be called midnight mass, but
Yeah,
now
it
it's
was midnight mass,
at 6 o'clock or something.
Yeah, still bright outside, and we used to go to mass. We were like,
Sit with
you had to be there so early too,
Yeah, to get a seat.
to get a
because it was
seat.
mad busy. Yeah.
It's funny, I went down there. I didn't actually go to the mass. Sorry, Father Gilmore, for because I wanted to take a picture of the chapel when it was full and the lights on. So I actually went at about 6:10 and was standing outside taking videos and pictures of the.
I seen that picture. It's a beautiful pic. Like,
I got some great, fantastic
Yeah.
pictures because Karen Conley works for the parish of AghyNarnia Facebook, and she was contacting me then, can I use that picture? And I was like, matter on, use away. Like. But I just find it funny that it's still called the midnight mass at
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But like I remember that midnight mass. It
I
was
do
just,
too, yeah.
it's such a great feeling.
It was a buzz to go to it because you were like, I'm getting to stay up so late. And we always had a wee candle.
Candles, yeah.
And we would light the candles, and you always remember then we were playing with the wax.
I had a fringe at one point. I just unfolded it like a seer. Just a smell of singe.
Oh god. Only you, Andy.
That's only me. Did you enjoy those masses?
Yeah.
It just was. As you said, Roisin, it's great to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I didn't say that exactly.
I was reading between the lines.
No, but it was, I liked, like Father John always used to say, don't be in a hurry up from the table at Christmas. Like that was something he always said, and it was always said in our house after, like, don't be in a hurry up because you never know who's going to be there next year.
Yeah.
So true.
And it's something like I always remember him talking about, like,
Yeah.
it's mad that.
So yeah, same thing in our house. I was always said that
He always said it at mass, like that was
Yeah.
the
always.
dishes will be done. Don't worry about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's the sitting down and chatting and engaging with each other that's so important.
Hard to beat Christmas.
Isn't it?
Family. Take us through then to your school days, Roisin. You were
I was in Carol's.
You were
My
St. Carol's.
memories when you were saying about like thinking back to your days was going up the hill on a summer's day.
yeah.
That was like, if you were
Class.
like, you're out up the hill, it was like, right, eat as fast as you can and get out to get up the hill. It was just grass, like.
I know.
It made such a difference.
Yeah, funny we were talking about that last week.
Yeah.
I remember running, just
Yeah.
sprinting to get
up,
there.
Get up the top of the hill.
And you remember
Rolling down the hill.
Yeah.
Having races of rolling down
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
It was intentional rolling. Yeah. No, but I loved it. Like I remember doing plays over in the centre and everything, and it was great getting over and just out of school for the day as such. It was nice. And it was small, so you knew everybody, and I loved being at St. Carol's. But I think it was because you knew everybody then, and everyone was kind of close knit that way.
Yeah. Was Rosemary Connolly one of your teachers?
She taught me. I remember the teachers changed. She taught me in P6. Then P7, they switched them all about, so I only had her for 1 year. Miss McGuire, Miss McHugh, Miss McLaughlin. I still can't call them their first names. Miss Stuher would have been.
I missed her still there.
I had her like 4, 5 and then 7. She came in swap with Mrs. Conley, so it's things you remember from them.
Yeah.
Even still meeting, like I meet Miss McHugh and it's Mrs. McHugh or like Miss McGuire, and they're like, call me this. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't call you that. Even one of them, I have one of their numbers and it's saved to my phone as Mrs. McGuire, and I couldn't call them their first names. But started at St. Carol's and then went to Loretto. Very different, all girls. It was just, but it was then you got used to it. Like it's all you knew then, and then when you kind of got to the real world, you were like, gosh, culture shock. But no,
There's boys again.
yeah, literally, because Catherine Hyland was talking to me about Loretto because she had went to primary school, all girls primary school, and she's like, you sit beside a boy in university and you're like, gosh, this is weird, like like they're not, you've never been like that way. But no, I enjoyed Loretto too, but it was very just, there was no nonsense, and you were kind of used to it, and then you go into the real world and you're like, gosh, people don't actually listen to you when you're up talking, which is the hard reality when you learn when you're starting to teach.
Very good. What about yourself, Sean? Tell us about St Patrick's.
So St Patrick's, yeah, I really enjoyed my time there. People always say you go into teaching because you either had a really good experience at school and you want to be part of that, or you didn't have a good experience and you want to do something about it. But no, I really enjoyed my primary school days.
Who was the principal there at that time?
It was Master McCarn. He was there for my first 3 or 4 years. Up to I was P4, and then it was Brian McGurk. Brian McGurk, the current one, still principal.
He's still principal.
Yeah, but yeah, just a great time. Got involved with wee bits of music, and I was in the choir, but I wasn't a singer. I knew it, and they probably knew it too. So I was here for more instrumental stuff, and then just obviously getting involved with wee bits of sport.
And what secondary school did you go to?
CBS.
You went to the Brothers.
Yeah, so I was up there again. Loved it as well. Met people on those first few days, musicians that I'm still very much in contact with and playing with regularly and things.
Very good.
And then obviously just bluff my way, tried to play a wee bit of sport as well, play a bit of football. No, as I say, a lot of very good memories and experiences from the school.
And did you go to the Brothers because of the football? Because I know my son, he's first year now at the Brothers, but Mummy, I was going because of the football.
Yeah.
As did most of his class, was to get on the
If you
football
look at the
team.
past few years of their success,
Oh, I
even
know.
even
Unreal.
just recently, but
Yeah.
probably was an element of that too. Yeah, well, back in my day, it was maybe the likes of Peter Hart would have been the senior, one of the senior pupils in the school. But
Yeah, because I know even a few pupils at our school that get to 5th year and they might be approached by the CBS because of their football. Would you mind transferring over to CBS for your sixth form?
It happens now.
Oh,
Definitely
definitely.
does.
But sure, what the success they've had, the team that they built and the players, why would you not want that experience?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So then on to uni days. Where did you both attend?
I did my maths degree in Queen's, but I was 2020, so COVID. My first year was all online, so it was like
Oh, that's
YouTube videos.
Oh,
that
horrid.
is tough. Yeah.
As a
To be all
homeward,
so excited, about going off to college, and then.
well, as a homeward, I was very content to be at home.
Right, okay.
I loved being at home, and then when you get to Belfast, there is kind of that sense of this isn't as bad as thinking of it, being nervous about going up there. First year was all online, and then second year, when you were saying about your memories of uni days, I remember the first exam we ever sat in person, so hadn't sat in exams since my ASs, and then second year of uni, sat down to do exams, and it was the rule for the first 45 minutes you can't leave the hall, but after that if you want to leave. And the first exam, it was awful, and I remember it was your 45 minutes is up, and I would say 60% of the hall up and left.
Oh my god.
And I was like, maybe I could have left. I was like, I'm going to sit and I'm going to work at it. First I was like, oh my goodness, people just got up and left. It was that hard degree, very hard. Belfast was very good. I enjoyed my time in Belfast. I loved my PGC, which we'll come to later, I think. It was weird, just the COVID. People talk about your first year experience getting to Belfast and everything, but mine was kind of stunted that way. But
Such a pity, because it is a great experience, and even you're saying you're a homebird, but what I remember most about those trips to Belfast was the trips home again at the weekend.
Yeah.
Stock up on all the food supplies to go.
Probably made you appreciate it more,
Yeah.
I got there in second year, but there was still I remember we were back, and then after Christmas, COVID kind of spiked again, so we were online for maybe 6 weeks, and it was kind of back and forth, and there were times we don't know what's going to happen, and you were told, we had exams in the January, we were told your exams are going to be in person, they're going to be in person, next thing it was online. So it was a real strange thing to get used to. I suppose you just make the best of it.
Yeah, it's just a different experience, I would say, more than anything.
There's always that fear factor then thrown in too with the COVID.
Oh yeah.
How did that work? So whenever you were in uni, obviously you were going up for your second year. For pupils that maybe were moving to Belfast for the first time, didn't know where to live, were they able to go to halls? Or
there was halls. So I was initially booked into halls, into BT9, and I remember going up on that first day, and they just told 2 meters apart in this big hall, and they were like, we don't know what's going to happen yet with your course. They were essentially saying to us, you could be in full time, you mightn't be in at all. And then we were told it's going to be 1 day a week. I remember going to the halls and thinking, if I take this key, I'm paying. If I don't, I can walk away from it. And I was just like, right, I'm not going to do it. If it's 1 day a week, I can travel, whatever it may be. Ended up being, we were in maybe for 4 weeks, a day a week, and then it was all online. That week, it was in the paper that BT9 was shut off because there was a COVID outbreak in it. And I was like, thank God I didn't go and get trapped. People would have stayed up, but I think once they kind of got, like, COVID did come into a lot of halls and houses, people then were kind of fading out home, and then there's probably people didn't really care too much and were happy enough to stay up. People would have taken houses up, but they were just, the lectures weren't in person, but maybe going to the library and stuff would have been different. But
you know, like, you would have went and visited a house if you wanted to go, like, as a group. Like, you couldn't do any of that, I'm
no,
assuming.
not really. Well, like, I remember there was fines and stuff, like houses in the Holy Lands, like if you were in certain degrees, was it solicitor? Like if you were being a solicitor or a lawyer, you could have been put out of the course if you got a fine. There was something about that PS and I would have came into houses if there was house parties as such. But I remember, like, one girl, hearing a story of one girl, and she was being brought up to the university, like, because she got this fine for breaking COVID regulations.
And they were going to kick her off the course?
I don't know if it actually happened, but that was like a threat of it. I was happy enough to be at home at that stage and not be worrying about it.
So then 3 years and
3 years undergrad, yeah.
And on your third year then, did you move up to Belfast?
Yeah, so I did have a house in Belfast for my second year.
Okay.
So I was there. So, like, we were up September, October, November, went home Christmas time. And then you weren't up January, and then you came back in February. We were there then, and then I had a house then for third year. It was grand. It was different. It was great going out, being central to everything.
Yeah.
You could walk everywhere.
Oh my
Whereas
God.
here, you need a car. Or
need a driver.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was different then. It was nice getting the experience the second and third year, but I think that first year is your kind of the year you can more enjoy as such. There's less pressure.
And did you move in with friends that you had from school, or just people you met?
In second year I had, and then in third year there was people thinking not moving up or travelling. We were in 4 or 5 days a week, and I was like, I can't do that. So I got a house, and then Belle and my girls, and I'm still in contact with one of them, and just got a house, and we just shared that way. We became friendly through it, so it's interesting living
with different people as
people.
well.
You're used to one way, not everyone does things.
Personal habits. Yeah.
Even there was people like I would have known from school, but when I lived them, it was just a completely different experience.
Yeah.
I have a few CBS friends that fall into that category too. Great friends, but I'd never live with them again.
So what about you, Sean?
I was 2014 to 2017 for my undergrad. Same course.
Yeah,
I was
Queens.
2004.
99 to 02.
Mine was a 4-year course and then 1 year training. So I was 2004 before I was qualified.
Before you were out, I
That's
suppose
just,
by the time I
5
got out,
years
it was
then.
around that time as well. Stayed in uni as long as possible. That's why I enjoyed the holidays. That's why I'm a teacher.
There's a theme there.
What do you remember about uni, Sean?
Well, I suppose did get to maybe see some of those experiences.
Yeah.
One thing there I didn't say about my secondary school was the fact that I actually did spend some time in Loretto.
Did you?
I done A-level music, and it wasn't offered in the CBS.
Right.
So I just done it for AS. So I made the trip across for a year to do that there.
Sure you loved that, do
A-level music wasn't for me now. A lot of it was enjoyable, but the composition and the performance things, they were all some of the theory stuff wasn't my area of expertise.
And so what, did you finish it or not?
Oh no, I done it with the intention of doing it just for
Oh
AS.
right, okay, for AS level.
Yeah.
But you didn't do it for
I didn't
the...
do it for A2. I had other things on my mind. So I went to Belfast then and seen real culture shock, I suppose. You think you've got the culture shock going to Oma and the big schools and things, and then you get the real culture shock.
Yeah.
But no, I had a good time. Lived with just friends from school right the way through actually until I graduated. But no, it was a fun time.
Was the student union still as popular then?
It depended if there was football or not. If there was a game on, then maybe. So there's a few deals that were made use of, put it like that. There's a few other places that people like to frequent.
Oh yeah, like there's some great bars and venues around Belfast.
Really thriving now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even at the start, whenever I was there, like you didn't even venture out of the student area.
No, you didn't have to. No.
Whereas now, if I'm back in Belfast, you'd be down in the Titanic Quarter or somewhere like that.
Definitely no shortage of
Places to go.
And I remember like Monday and Thursday night was pound of pint, pound of vodka. So that's we went on a Monday and a Thursday.
Yeah.
Tuesday was the parlour, and maybe Wednesday was the bot or the egg, and then Friday you were home again and recovering and
Yeah. Week drinking.
But all those places just so close to each other is a stone's throw.
yeah. But even like the
And
student union,
student prices too.
yeah, student prices was the main thing. But the union was a great spot just for meeting up, even if you didn't stay there for long. That you just met ones there, and then you went on ahead somewhere else. What led you into the PGC then? Was it just the next step for you?
Yeah, it was for me. It was always the intention of doing the master's degree followed by the PGCE. It's just a route I wanted to go down and to becoming a teacher. I enjoyed maths at school, and then I've been teaching music since I was maybe 16. Started off actually in Clare in the Area Centre.
Brilliant.
So I liked that idea of teaching as well.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd combine the two and try and make a living out of it.
I always say you learn more by actually teaching.
Yeah, 100%. Enjoyed my PGC year now, intense year.
Where did
definitely.
you do the PGCE?
In Queen's as well.
In Queen's as well.
Yeah.
And you as well,
Yeah.
Roisin?
Mhm.
It was both with Ian Cantley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Let's tell Claire about Ian Cantley. He's
Yes, you're going to have to tell me who this Ian Cantley is. I haven't got a clue.
he oversees the PGC course. Now, for me, whenever I went through PGC, it was a man called Hugh Morrison, and same kind of personality to Ian Cantley, just really helpful, brilliant leader, just helped you get through the maths PGC and teaching you everything you probably would need theory-wise, but then trying to prep you for the class now. You can only prep so much for live classroom experiences.
Yeah.
But Ian Cantley was he's your Hugh Morrison, basically, and I met him only like through PGC students that come to our school.
Okay.
We would be contacted, do you want to take on a student? Like, who is it first? Am I here? No, not again.
Saying no.
But he's a real gentleman, is what I would say. A giant of a man too.
Right.
He must be 6'5",
Gentle giant,
yeah. But I'll let you just tell more because you know probably better than I do.
So he has such a knowledge. You could ask him anything and he would give you a sound answer. He's quite, like, when you first see him, he's quite scary. His memory, like, we walked in our first day and he'd only ever met us at our interview and he named us all as we walked in and we were like, oh my, like, how does he know?
Who
How
I
does he
am?
remember? Like, no, it was just any word, like any questions you had or any concerns, you could just have went, and he was so reassuring. I always said it, like, there was a joke in our class that someone was going to throw a chair in a classroom, like, what do you do if someone throws a chair at you? And he used to always say it to me, like, Roisin, no one's going to throw a chair at you, it's okay. Or like, he would talk and it was always like the worst case scenario with me. It was like,
I thought you were going to say
what's
he
gonna
says
happen?
duck.
No, not that bad. But it was always like, I remember doing, it's within the law to use, like, to protect a student
Yes.
from getting hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
But he was like, if there was two rugby fellas thinking of squaring up to each other, Roisin, like, don't you get in the middle of them? And I was like, okay. But he was just, he knew everything, and he knew each of his students. He knew how to help you and where you needed the help probably before you even knew yourself.
Yeah.
I found.
He just took a real interest in you.
Yeah.
That's so good, isn't it?
And just so incredibly helpful. Even now, like, I done my PGC 7-8 years ago now, and even now if I'm stuck or if I need advice, I know he'll help me out.
We send him an email, he replies within like minutes.
And I was very lucky. I'd done a master's there, just finished it, but my supervisor for my dissertation ended up being Ian.
Oh.
So I knew, maybe he thought, oh dear, but I knew whenever I got him, I was
You were going to be
Save
saying
hands.
doing it.
definitely.
You've just done a master's then as well. How
Yeah.
many years did that take?
It was 3 part-time. Again, just an idea came out of COVID. I was back home in AghyNarnia teaching, remotely teaching,
Yeah.
and knew I was going to do it, but just didn't know when I wanted to actually start it. And I thought, why not now? Finished it there just December past.
Very good.
Masters in Education, Sean, isn't that right?
Yeah. I'm going to hopefully use it
Yeah.
someday again.
Yeah.
It was a good course, and then obviously I met a few other people through Queen's, like of Tony Gallagher, who's I think now retired from a Queen's lecturer, but he actually has, I found out, he has pedagogue connections.
Oh,
Right.
right, okay.
So didn't get into the fine detail of who they were,
Yeah.
but again, very knowledgeable man, one of the main men behind Shared Education, him and Gavin Duffy. So it was certainly a very small world.
Yeah.
I found myself having a conversation with him about pedagogue and Lockdale.
It's
It
only,
always comes back to home.
it's only a stone's throw from your pedagogue.
Maybe give us a wee insight as to your experience in teaching so far. Like, what's been your kind of worst day or your best day? Or have you had a chair thrown at you?
No, not yet.
It's a positive.
I think it's a culture shock, isn't it, at the start?
Yeah, I remember going in my first day, so I'm in an all boys school, and like Ian had told you what to do and how to get them, keep them focused and all the rest, and going into a class of year 10 boys, and they would do anything but listen to me.
Yeah.
And here was me being like, I'm doing everything Ian told me to do. And they're not listening. And it's like, you have to just go in firm. And my first day I had to send for a senior teacher down the corridor. I was like, I don't know what to do. But it's just, when they see you're staying there, they kind of
Yeah.
have to settle down. And you have your good days and your, like, days you go through and it's fine. Days you go through and you're like, this was awful. But I suppose that's part and parcel of it all, really. No chairs thrown at me yet, or no fights or nothing that I've had to deal with. But just behaviour would be a really big thing. Like I've been saying to Andy before. No, I've enjoyed most of it so far. But the behaviour really would be the big...
How do you find
Shock.
the behaviour now? Just, is it what you expected, I suppose? Or do you feel that, I know in our day we would have had a lot of respect for teachers.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
would have been afraid to say anything.
Yeah, you'd
To a
be
teacher.
scared to open your mouth
Yeah.
when the teacher was
Or it's like a
talking.
different generation coming now where it's,
Yeah.
I don't know, this might be wrong, encouraged
To speak up
Yeah.
and to
speak up, but actually say anything and everything. It's,
Again, I left school in 2020
Mm.
and never would have opened my mouth to a teacher. Like I could have done absolutely nothing wrong. But if a teacher said anything to me, I just would have just sat there. Like I wouldn't have argued back or anything. Boys just would have no issue answering you, and it's like hearing boys swear and things. You're like, my God, like you never would have said that in front of a teacher, or just it's a different. It is like that different generation. It's a different
Yeah.
kind of view. How they can act in a
There's no
classroom.
consequences, do you feel? Or
I don't think there's no fear of a consequence as such. Like
Yes.
you didn't want to get
Yeah.
a detention. If I thought somebody had rang home, like
Yeah.
I've been through 7 years and never got a phone call home or a bad
Yeah.
comment or anything. And there's boys hand up like, I'm on my 7th this week, and I'm going, or like you ring home to a parent and they're like, are you not terrified to go home after
Yeah.
hearing a teacher's rang, whoever it is? And they don't really care. They nearly just laugh at you, and you're
Thrive
like,
off it.
Yeah.
I was ringing home for a boy, and I said to him, I was like, I'm ringing home, and I looked over. He was on the floor, like messing with his mate, and I was going, I've said I'm ringing home, but like it didn't take any effect
Yeah.
as such. So I do think it's a thing. Maybe there's no fear of consequences. You get a detention, it's just an hour you have to sit upstairs. Where I would have thought it was such a big thing,
yeah.
that way. But
And sometimes there is like reasons their own home life is tough. I find it's not the case for most.
yeah,
And for most it's just acting with the crowd.
you have to have a bit of give and take, I suppose, with that. Like if you know there's more going
Yeah.
on,
Yeah,
there is that like
absolutely,
come
yeah.
on whatever. But there's just people just taking the hand. It's nearly like sometimes you're just standing there in shock. I'm like, is this really
Yeah.
happening?
But the fact is like you're in there to actually teach a subject, all that stuff shouldn't even come into play.
Yeah.
And how difficult it is to teach maths and get people to listen.
Yeah.
Never mind then get people to listen with their
Right.
behaviour. It's a tough task for everybody.
It's you're trying to balance, like you've 25 sitting in front of you. You're trying to deal with one people's behaviour, but you're like, I need to
Yeah.
teach the rest of the boys, and some people can't see that. Like
Yeah.
parents think you're constantly at him and all, and you're like, no, but I can't just constantly give my attention to
To
one
that
pupil.
one child.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
20 odd pupils in my class. I need to be going on with the work.
Dad would come home and he'd be like, teacher was so cross, you know, like, complaining about this one and that one. And I know at the start they were very strict with them when they first went into the school. And I said, but Dara, that's because there's so many of you. And if you don't all fall in line and behave, and then he'd say, but Mum, they're getting cross over nothing because your man didn't even say anything that bad. And then I'm going, well, did he disrupt the class? Did she have to stop and tell him to keep quiet? And I go, yeah. So I says, imagine you were trying to teach. So I put it back on him then going, imagine you were that person up there and one person kept, and did you laugh at him? You know, so I'd always try and make him understand it from the
Yeah.
teacher's point of view, and not to be thinking that they're just all cross, you know. And then there's a teacher that he gets in, she's always so cross. I said, Dara, you have her in the last 2
Periods of the day.
periods on a Friday evening.
That's always a hard time.
That's a hard
Hard
time
sell.
for anybody.
This is a hard sell last 2 on a Friday night.
People would say, you must be having a bad day. And I'm like, I actually wasn't. I was having a great day until
Until
This.
yes.
I say I'm reacting to your behaviour. Like
Yeah.
I have to follow these procedures, like
Yes.
giving you these comments and things. But they don't say it that way. You're just out to get them in a sense.
Yeah, and it's like at your stage now, Roisin, because you're only new into teaching, you're preparing all the work that goes along with actually being able to teach maths and preparing all that. And then trying to get their attention. It's just a mammoth task, and I would not want to go back to those days at the beginning.
They know you're young too.
Yeah.
They know that, and they try to play in that a bit. You're in there and you have to take control. And even when they're bigger than you and you're like, oh jeepers, but you just have to go in, and just sometimes, like I don't shout, but when I have to raise my voice, they do stop. So it's like something has to.
Yeah, I feel like I did develop a character. I'm Mr. Dolan, but as soon as I come back through the gate, I'm Andy Dolan again.
Yeah.
Like my own nephew Luke, he's a 3rd year in our school at the moment, but whenever he came into 1st year he was in my form class, and like he knew me from growing up, but then he would be coming home and going, he's 2 different people. But funny, I've started to say the same to his mum Dominica, my sister. I'll be like, He's two different people.
There's both ways there. You're acting.
Yeah.
You just have to put on that.
Performance.
You really do.
It takes a lot of energy. Like I remember like at the start, the teaching, I was knackered coming home every day. You're on your feet constantly circling and teaching and then dealing with behaviour.
Some of the things you do just to try and get their engagement or their focus or something. You might steal it. I started doing what I did it previously, Dolan dollars. They got Dolan dollars and then they could put them towards a prize towards the end of the week.
Good.
They just started making up puns around my name for things they could buy.
Right.
So my absolute favourite was Dolgate toothpaste.
Oh, yeah. That is hilarious.
So it worked.
Donald Trump, if you're listening, Dolan dollars. I can invest there.
It's like bribing them to like chocolate. I'll give you chocolate if you do this. Like it's.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if
Sweets.
it's an 11-year-old or a 16 or 7-year-old.
I have a boy every week now says, "What bar of chocolate?" I was like, "I can't buy you a bar of chocolate every week just because you're not talking." Like that can't happen. And he's the only one in the class that does it. You're like, oh. You're considering like, can I buy a bar of chocolate for all these boys to get them to listen to me for 5 minutes? But
That all comes out of your own pocket. Like I remember, like for that form class I have between 24 and 27 in first year, you were going down buying an Easter egg for every one of them, all the competitions that you would run, but it all comes out of your own pocket at the end of the day. And sometimes they, I don't like that one.
Yeah. You're like,
Oh, I'm ready to throw this.
you go spend like 20-30 pound on home bargains and then you go up and it's gone in no time.
yeah.
I remember like from my own school days, I remember those parties and I remember school trips, and that's something that I always try to do in my own classes. You try and create memories. You want to take them away in the summer on a nice day in June, and just go anywhere, whether it was Barry's or Curry's as it is now, having a party, Christmas.
Yeah.
They love all that. Like
It's the things they remember about school.
Yeah.
Like, they don't remember you teach them trigonometry.
sometimes it's funny, like you're teaching, they're all like in a method and there's silence and they're learning, but then someday you'll just change it up and you'll play a game. You see children again.
Yeah.
Get rid of the curriculum, that's what I say. Put that master's education to good use. So PGC, well, I wanted to say this, probably another reason why I wanted you on, because I met you both through the PGC and you came to our school for a placement and it was fantastic. And even, I haven't been chatting to Ian since, Rashi, but Ian would always mention Sean. He'd talk really highly of you.
I never had a master's meeting where Roisin wasn't mentioned as well.
There you go.
Yeah, so I spoke very highly of you too.
Like I've seen a lot of students come in through our place, like, but the two of you just took naturally to doing the job. And I know you probably might have found it easy at the time, but as I kept saying to you, Roisin, I was like going, I wish I was this way whenever I was coming through PGC, because I wasn't. It took years to build that up, but I think you were already there at that stage.
I loved Holy Cross. I remember when I got it at first, I suppose any school you'd be nervous, but I was so scared. I knew nothing about it as such, but I loved my time there. And like Ian always said, he was like, you were really nervous about it, but I ended up loving my time in Strabane. But it's an unreal department. It is. They're just a fantastic group of people. Like, but I loved it, and I loved my classes. Like you still remember some of them. I actually was in Strabane and I seen one. I was like, oh my gosh, I turned.
And how long do you do a placement for when you're doing PGC?
11 weeks.
11 months, right? Okay.
Same as Roisin said there, it was a great place to go to work because you get great crack in the staff room too as well, and then
You could knock on any door. That's something I found. Like if you were in bother, you
So
could have went to
approachable.
anyone and been like, "What do I do?"
And it doesn't happen in every school or every department, was what I've realised. Like it just kind of, whenever we moved from 3 separate schools into one school amalgam, and we got into a new building, and then eventually we all, instead of going to like a staff room for lunch, we had our own like little tea room. That's where we go. It started off at break time and then lunch, but now there's a morning congregation in there of everybody just stories and winding each other up, and it's all good fun. I feel blessed. I find it hard to take compliments, and people would say to me like, much of an amazing job that I'm doing, but I kind of shut up at that point. I'm like, this isn't me, this is just the people, this just happens, this is every department. But what people tell me, it's not, it doesn't happen everywhere. Like
you have to create the environment for it.
Yeah, well that's true too. Like.
there is, like, I enjoy that tea room. There's something magical in there, like the gossip and the stories and as I said, the winding up. It's just, maybe I play too much of a part in that, but but it was great to have the two of you in and to experience that, and even to get, because otherwise I wouldn't have known you. Like there's so many people around here and I wouldn't, but I've got to know you two for for that short space of time, and I've kept in touch with you ever since.
My first day, you were like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "I am." He was like, "Yeah, I know that." And then I remember walking in the next day, and you were like, "You have a sister, a teacher," and I was like, "Yeah, your father's a bus man." I was like, "Oh, cheapers." You find things out very easily.
Small communities.
Yeah.
Smaller than you think.
It's always somebody that knows somebody.
There's always the joke that I remember when I went to school in Strabane that they always said about Aghyard, everybody's a teacher up there because everybody ends the sentence with sir. Yes, sir. How's it going, sir? Russian, you're up in St. Columns and
In Derry,
and Derry, and you got a permanent job straight out into permanent.
I was there initially for a year, so they offered me a year, and then October time the permanent job came up. I was kind of in two minds of applying, and I thought, like, if I don't get this job, I'm here for the year and they're going to have to look at me and it's going to be quite awkward. But one of the teachers there, Denise, she was like, apply, and I was like, okay. And like, it's a great department too. They're a really, really lovely bunch. It was Darren that got me in there and was offered the job, and the department there is fantastic again too, so I'm enjoying it so far. It's very different even to Strabane and things. No, I'm liking it.
Every school has its own unique way about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not too far of a trek for you either.
No, it's about less than an hour, around an hour probably with traffic, but I don't mind it.
No.
Someone says like you must have time to calm down by the time you get home. Like if something happens, it's like at least you have that hour drive where you just get it out of your system, and I was like, I suppose you kind of settle down by the time you get home.
It's funny, like I always remember the drive home, especially when I lived in Oma, and I always thought I would love to put a camera in here just to see my conversations with myself on the way home. And then a few years later, then Peter Kay brought out his car share,
That's right,
and I was like, my God, was he in my mind all this time? Because I remember meeting somebody who knew me from Strabane, and they were passing me as I was going to Doma. And they were like, what were you laughing at that day? I could just see you laughing through your windscreen. Obviously, I had a good day that day.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Sean? What happened after the PGC? Take us from there.
So after the PGCE, I got a maternity post in Crossmaclean actually. So I've done a bit of travelling since I qualified.
How long did it take you to get to...
Well, I was renting in Belfast at the time,
Okay.
which made it slightly easier, but it was still a good 50, 60 miles drive, which I didn't mind doing. Lovely time there.
Yeah.
And I spent the year there on that maternity post. Since that, I've been in the school in Newton Ards, and I've been there since the past 6 years. And I from a very rural spot to the extreme opposite. So I've seen both sides of it really. Still, I suppose you said at the start, teaching is still the most enjoyable thing. Good days, bad days, funny days as well. A lot of those. You feel you could write a book with some of the stories and things. Still enjoy teaching maths. And
You've some good news to share with us as well.
I do actually. I've got a new job just there today, so into Belfast for that one. So
Very good.
Congratulations, Sean. Delighted for you.
Thanks. Looking forward to that new challenge.
Is it a mixed school or is it...
It is mixed. Yeah. They've all
been
been mixed. Yes.
Oh, very
yeah,
good. Did you find that a challenge in itself?
I thought I would, because from an outsider looking in, like from CBS all boys,
Yeah,
I
that's right.
thought
Coming from a
I wonder what this would be like.
Yeah.
But if you don't know any difference from their point of view, it's always been boys and girls.
I would find they balance each other out.
Yeah.
As long as you can keep them
Do the work.
engaged for as long as possible. That's usually the main thing.
When I was going for the PGC, I remember messaging Sean looking for they were like, you need experience in schools. So I was like,
Right.
Sean, I need an experience, like what I do. And he was coming to me on it, was it Tuesday evening
That's
or?
right, yeah.
And I used to go out to Newton Ards to do an after school class in Sean's room. So
Oh, very
Wow.
good.
it's your higher connections. And Newton
Always
Ards.
help each other out.
Imagine. But the current school, obviously very good to me. I've got a lot of brilliant experiences from it. Head of year, for example, which I didn't expect to get quite early on in my career, so that opportunity came up. So that opened my eyes to other things outside
More
of the
management
classroom.
side of things, isn't it? Or...
Didn't more parents, I would
A
imagine,
lot of
too, yeah.
dealings with parents
Oh,
would be
right,
a lot of the work outside of the classroom hours. Like anything, it's making sure everyone's very clear on what's going on.
I've also heard the comment that it's not the children that are the problem, it's the parents. Agree or disagree?
Drink water at this time.
I think parents too. I think like from parent teacher meetings, I had 3 year 8 classes. So I remember like year 8 parent teacher meetings, and maybe I met nearly 60 parents, and you might have had 2 that were like maybe negative, but you focus on them, which I find. But like so many of them were so lovely and very appreciative. Whereas I think you just have to take the good and the bad. in that
Yeah,
way.
I think it just comes with a bit of experience, but anything just negatively it can knock you just.
Yeah.
It's in their nature to just focus in on negative thoughts and negative comments, and you store them.
Yeah.
for some weird reason.
You know, like your own harshest critic. You're always going to be harder on yourself than anybody else.
Of course, naturally the way things go.
Uh-huh.
I always find it sometimes it can be helpful. I actually don't mind contact with parents but I try and do it in such a way it's a positive contact, even if it's only initially.
Yeah.
So that you can build that sort of relationship with them as well,
yeah.
because you are there for their benefit as
Yeah.
well. So you want them to see the good.
Yeah, because I would say probably about 98% of conversations with parents is fantastic, and it's for the good of their kid. But there is, as you said, Roisin, you focus on those ones that have caused you trauma probably over the years, which is easy to happen in teaching.
Nice to get the nice ones though that are like thanking you for doing your job. You're
Yeah.
like, someone appreciates that.
Like I had a girl this year who she missed most of her year 11, so like she was doing the further maths, so she missed like the second module, so she came back in. We encouraged her to come back to school, and then I basically explained to her that she could still do further maths, but I would take you through the M8 module that you missed and put you through that in November, the November series. She was coming to me for about an extra 4 hours in a week, 2 hours of support, and then she was joining in with my own year 12 class who were being taught at the same time. But one of the best pupils that I've ever seen come through, like maths ability, amazing. But like I was doing that because I just wanted her to get her grade, because she deserved to get at least an A at her GCSE. She showed up to me after it was over with a card, and the message inside the card was just beautiful. She had crocheted this, called like a coaster, but it was like Captain America, so she knew I was a superhero there. And she had baked banana bread, and there was walnuts in so it was walnut banana bread. Now I didn't know this because obviously I was in the middle of teaching, so I hadn't really opened it, but she appeared to me before I'd even had a chance to know it was banana bread. I was just worried, are you allergic to nuts? I wanted to make sure just before. I was just touched by how amazing that one person was, and it made my day, definitely. And still here talking about it and thinking about it, and she got her A in the end up, and that's all I ever wanted. Like I was telling her that's way too much, because there was like £100 gift voucher in there as well. I was like going, this is just unheard of.
That shows their appreciation.
Yeah, well,
like
that
her family.
absolutely,
That just shows you teaching. There's the flip side, and you
the
forget
rewards.
about it.
That's the rewards. From helping somebody.
Definitely the ones you keep them in the memory for
Yeah.
for the darker
for
days.
the greatest challenges that might lie ahead in your life. When we're moving on to that, what would you say are the greatest challenges?
Teaching wise, my main challenge is, I suppose, I don't like mentioning it because it's part is done, but like the COVID still. The impact that has on a lot of what I'm seeing in the classroom, both academically and even just behaviourally. There's a lot of stuff that is lost that I think needs still a considerable amount of work on.
Like what?
How to interact with others, how to interact with their peers. It's not a given. They don't necessarily know boundaries, or even if it comes to academically, they don't know how to work at home, they don't know how to revise, they don't know how to learn really. So there's a lot of sort of resets on that, and gaps in knowledge that are just still pretty evident. One pupil, actually in the past few weeks, a new pupil to me, missed a lot of school and around that time, and is flying now, but came to me. I didn't know what she wanted to say because she was very nervous percent. She showed me a question, and it was something she should have learned P5. She was year 12. And she said, "Sir, can I have some help with this because I don't know how to do this."
Oh wow.
So it was sort of trying to manage that in a subtle way that she was able to get her help, and she is flying in what we're doing, but it was that sort of fundamental.
The basic.
She was probably hiding that for so many years. Because in maths it takes 1 year to build on. It's like blocks to build up basically that knowledge.
Wow.
So whenever I mentioned non-calculator, it was just whenever she thought that I need to let someone know.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
obviously very glad she did, because when it comes to her non-calculator paper, she's going
Need to know how to do all this. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's a big challenge, I suppose, when it comes from teaching.
I thought you were going to go and talk about how to teach and what challenges are there.
Come back to me.
No, just something Sean said there about boundaries. I think that is something you see in the classroom. I suppose I am starting out, but it's really getting that boundary of, I am your teacher, I'm not here to be your friend. You can't go on certain ways with me. Just the way some of them chat to you, and you're like, I don't need to know some of this stuff. Like, do you know, that sort of way.
Yeah.
And even just when a teacher says something, you listen. Sometimes they're just chatting over you, or just ignore certain, like, see the phones, I'm like, put your phone away, and they just think, no, I'm going to sit here on my phone. It's that they're kind of like, there has to be an appreciation here and some respect in that sense. Probably too with COVID, you do see the knock on with it. You have people not knowing their times tables at GCSE level and scary things like that, because we're trained in that secondary school and you're like, how do I go back to the very, very basics here with them while still moving on with what I'm supposed to be doing? And probably the COVID has really brought that one on, but no, it is just, it's like a constant kind of a battle that way. Like you're always going to have those students that need that extra bit of help or a bit of encouragement.
You brought up taboo subject for me anyway. The phones for kids going to school. Like my son's only 11 and I was very much so under pressure about getting a phone for him because he's going to the secondary school, and I was like, right, okay. So that was the agreement that he got one maybe after starting school after a couple of weeks, and he was the only one without one, and I listened to a lot about it. But my question to you is, what I'm finding now is that a lot of the work that he's doing in school is revolved around the phone on Teams, and he needs to use his phone in the classroom, and mummy, can I have extra time, mummy, and could you put the controls on, and you're like going, so as a parent I feel pressurized to extend that time, and he's like, oh, I didn't get any free time on it, and you know, and I said, but the purpose of the phone was contact, not for all these extra activities on the phone that it's encouraged. Now, I get that technology is a massive part of our lives now, but as teachers, how do you feel about the use of phones, about the effect phones have on children? Because I'm sure you are very much aware of the difference in how kids are behaving through, and there again, the bullying, the stuff that goes on phones.
From a head of year perspective, deal with quite a lot of issues that come from phones and social media, so it has an awful lot of extra time and work to my load presently, just dealing with things that sometimes quite very aggressive messaging and things that they're able to just look up with the click of a button, and things that is very, very scary. It's scary what they can access. We can access anything. From that point of using the phones positively or using them for learning in maths, obviously it depends on the school. From where I am currently, it's not a thing we really use too much in maths. It is used in other departments, but I suppose with the way the world is going with remote working or hybrid working, and there is just a lot of that is what society is sort of turning into.
As they say, you can't stop it, you have to progress with progression of how society is going, because then they're going to be missing out on the fact that they don't know how to work the phone or do things with it too. So
it puts a lot of pressure too, to make sure people have devices at home can be used, because it's not a given that every house will have
that's the other side of it too,
suitable devices or a place where they can actually do it and work with it, like a workstation or something to work on. It's not a given. Like the school I'm at the moment, it really isn't a given, so that's probably why we've had to maybe shift to make sure that there's alternatives in place or things after school they can go to, so they can get whatever they get done in school.
Like I would mainly use it if somebody's missed a class, so I'll have Google Classroom and I'll upload there, so if anybody's off they can catch up. But I've stopped. I used it quite a lot maybe in that time around COVID. But I found, from my own experience, uploading things onto Google Classroom took a lot of time. I found myself grinding my teeth, still do to this day when I'm uploading, because it takes a while just for it to, I'm like, would you just come on and upload? And I just found that I just try to avoid that. I've actually started to step back from Google Classroom. I'm seeing it through with whatever classes that I have, but other ones I'm just going back to my old methods of, if you're off, I'm going to print off a copy and I'll keep it free or give it to a buddy in the class. But you know yourselves, like I see nephews and nieces, and if there's too long on a tablet or a phone, you got to take it off them. They're a different person. They're just, there's like an anger or something. That's all caused by being glued to a screen.
Similar to yourself, I would use Google Classroom, but it only is I have an M4 group currently that I would it's more additional stuff, because they're in need of it, they want it, and it gives me a good communication with them as well, because they can obviously reply privately with questions if they need to, so they can get that instant feedback if they need it. So it does have its place.
In a positive way,
but it's not been used maybe across the board in a positive way.
And a lot of, well, not a lot, but some schools are now starting to put it into a pocket for the day, and so they don't have access to their phone. I find like in maths, and I don't really need it as much.
Our school's quite strict on our phone policies, so it's very well known. And they know when they come into the class, if I see a phone, just leave it at my desk. It's an issue at the start because you're trying to get them used to it, but it becomes
Routine kind of.
yeah. It's one class. Actually, my oldest class, the more senior people that I would have found the most. So what I've done is I've just taken a wee envelope, creative confiscation envelopes, and I just stuck it to the top of my board. And anytime I just point, it's just a wee visual reminder for them that that's where their phone's going to end up. Initially, yes, but when you get used to the routine of it, it's fine.
Let's step away from the maths in the classroom.
Is there a quiz round?
AghyNarnia.
Sean, you're involved with the club, the AghyNarnia club outside of. So talk us through your experiences.
So I started playing football for the club at the end of primary school, really. One of my memories from growing up was just in the back garden with me and my brothers, and actually one of our neighbours as well, just kicking the ball into the net all the time. But joined the club then, played football all the way up through, as well as that I suppose done a bit of coaching actually a few years ago as well, which I actually really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What kind of age level there?
I was under 15, just a small squad, but it was a very determined bunch. They were a great group of lads, so I had a lot of fun doing that. Just something I just couldn't keep doing, unfortunately. Just could not at home often enough. And then musically as well, just like I've taken part in the junior score. I'd have done that when I was under 16 as well, so I would have been part of that group.
How did you do in the junior score?
We would have reached the finals, would have been placed. I think I actually do have a medal for a quiz, a junior score quiz medal.
That's why you were looking for
That's
a quiz.
the quiz. Upper hand.
Okay, two good teammates in that quiz, I think is what it actually was. Yeah, so loved being around the club and been a part of it, and just a lot of very hard-working people around it.
Giving up their own time, yeah.
Make it the success that it is. Long may it continue.
You manager down there now as well.
Yes, Roisin's in there. But I'm not playing anymore.
Oh, you're not. You're full stepped aside.
Yeah, so I'm just not home.
You're not home enough.
To commit to it. But the brothers are still, well, Thomas is still playing regularly, and Rowan's a part-time player as well when he's around. But no, I think they're getting on alright.
And what about the music side of things? How's that? Like, you won an All-Ireland last year, is that right?
It is, yes, lucky enough. Myself and other AghyNarnia man, John McGlinchey and banjo. It's part of a Fentna group of Kjol. Down to Wexford last year and didn't know what to expect, but when they call out your name first place, you're sort of in shock. A wee bit, yeah.
All-Ireland champion.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing.
So, no, it was a good time now, good celebrations.
Is there like nerves in the build-up to those performances?
I thankfully, touch wood, never got nervous for competitions. I don't know what
Is it the group experience maybe, or?
Both group and solo, I don't find it as nerve. I think it's maybe because I've been my first competition, my first flat competition. I started playing the accordion when I was 7 in around March time. I went to the county flat in June.
Oh, no way.
Didn't know what a flat was. All I knew is if I played, I was getting a toy for winning it. So I think no problem. I went up and sat in. Someone played in front of me and they played a tune. Everyone clapped. Then they played a second tune. And I turned around to my mother. I was like, how many tunes am I supposed to play? It was 2. I only knew the one. So I went up, played a tune, and got off the stage again. That was it. And I was happy enough.
That's brilliant.
And just competing pretty much ever since in some way, either solo or in group. Obviously Cayley Band still, as of 2 years ago, trying that one now to see how that goes, but just something you get used to. I think a wee bit like the teaching. Initially, in front of a crowd or in front of students, it can be nerve-wracking, but you get on with it.
Second nature just for you then.
Especially at this age, the older you get. Sorry, at my age.
No.
It'll come there. What about yourself, Roisin? You're high into the music scene on a different kind of level.
No, I don't know about that. I suppose, yeah, you're talking about country music. Yeah, so I would go, I'd travel around for country music. I'm going to Dundalk this weekend.
Oh, no way.
Mad for jiving. I've been for like over a year now, yeah. So you go when you've all ages there, like, so. No, it's great crack. It's a great way to meet people, and it's just good. It's good fun. I love it. But yeah, it's you meet people. So like we would always in the kitchen and like messing with mum. So we would have just done the basics, and then we went to different ones. We went to ones in Oma. There was ones in AghyNarnia at a point. Just went around, but then you go out and you meet people, and you learn very quickly different things and who you want to jive with again, and maybe who you don't want to jive with again. But you meet people from all over. Like we're friendly with ones now from the Moy who we never would have probably fell in with only for it, and different parts of Donegal, and it's great. Like
I think they had a big country weekend in the Abbey there. Yeah, that last weekend.
Roisin was there.
I was in full attendance. I was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's what they say, like in school, I go into school and
Yeah.
they'd be like, you're going somewhere, like you have the tan on, you have the hair done. I'm like, it's every Friday at this rate. But no, I've been like, I think I missed one weekend, one Saturday night last year. I was out the rest of the Saturday nights of the year.
Wow. Just
Yeah.
going to the country music.
Country, well, mostly, yeah.
And, who's your favourite country singer at the minute?
At the minute, Jeepers. They're all very good. It's the lively, Jimmy Buckley is great.
Yeah.
And like when I talk about this, people be like, that's so old. Like,
Yeah, he's
But-
one of the older
Yeah,
guys doing it, not one of the younger
yeah.
ones. But,
Jimmy's very good. I like Patrick Feeney.
Yeah.
There's just all, but
yeah.
they all have their like songs where you're like, oh, you just have to get
Yeah.
out in the.
Yeah.
But they do lots of different things. So like Kilmarnock Festival's coming up. We have a house book for a week.
Oh, brilliant.
Well,
there's
who all
three of
goes
us.
with you?
So my sister goes Kerry, and then a girl from another young girl, Catherine, and then there's a few girls from the Moy, one's from Donegal. There's last night there was 7 or 8 of us all together, and it's
Wow.
night you could just ring you go in the night, and you might be planning on going somewhere, and
Yeah.
like you meet ones. We filmed once a couple of weeks ago, and we were away with Bundoran with them. We were at different places,
Yeah.
and you can go in places, and it's you're the youngest there by about 40, 50 years, like.
Yeah.
But it's
Still
good crack all the
yeah.
same, yeah. You be dancing with some like old man, and you're like jeepers, but
Yeah.
it's good enough crack. It's
Get you out. Like, I
Yeah.
have to say, listening to music and dancing is brilliant therapy.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
I remember
it's just good for the soul.
last Friday leaving school was one of the bad days of teaching, and one of them was like, you're bound to be going dancing tonight, forget about it. And then I remember ringing mum when I was going on the way back, and she was like, it's an Abbey weekend, Roisin, forget about it now. Like, she even knows. Like, she's like, where's the running this weekend? And you're like, oh no, I love it. Like, I can't play music, but I can
enjoy it.
I can go through a jive, make me the best, but I can
You're a
have
very
to.
sought after driver. My
Sources.
sources.
There's a story there, Sean.
Okay.
Just know maybe if somebody that might have been at the weekend
Yeah.
and were saying that Roisin was in high demand.
There you go.
Oh no, don't know about that. That is mad you fall in with again, like, cause
Yeah.
there's a few of yours plays there different weekends, and every time I meet them, I'm like, are you going to the Abbey the next time it's on?
And it's an unbelievable social scene. Like, I remember being at Nathan Carter in the Mill and Country Inn, and as you say, Roisin, every age person in there,
Under the sun.
and everybody dancing. Didn't matter. I thought you were going to say Mick Flavin there, because you've sung
Oh,
with Mick Flavin.
I did. When I was living in Longford, I got asked by Mick Flavin to do Gloria Tira. So that was in 2011, that long ago. So yeah, I think he had asked 2 people previous to me to do it, and they had pulled out. So I was actually his 3rd person to ask.
Okay.
So everybody else that was there had like months to prepare, and I got thrown in like 2 weeks before it was starting. So, and I at that stage, like, I had sang, like, and I did music sessions. And sat down and played a song or did 1 or 2 songs, and that was fine. But I never had any 5-piece band behind me. And so then I would say, I'd give my songs or whatever, and I would stand up. And like literally you had 1 practice, and then you were live on TV. And the camera is coming around,
Zipping back and
zooming
forth.
around you and all. And then they go, what way do you do this song? And I says, I do it my way. I just said, like, I don't know. And I wasn't playing the guitar either, which I found really weird, because, you know, it's like
It's
a
a safety
security
net,
blanket.
yeah.
Like, I remember, what was the first song I did? Past the Point of Rescue. And then they're like, so this is the intro. And I remember standing there going, when did I come in? I hadn't got a clue, because I never listened to the original.
Yeah.
I just played it my way. And I remember, and they had to do it 3 or 4 times, and I was cringing, because all the other ones that I was competing against were professional singers and out gigging, and one of them was doing cruise ships, and I was the pharmacist who sang music sessions every now and again.
You had to learn fast.
So I learned fast, but absolutely brilliant experience. And Mick Flavin was my mentor. I got to do a duet with him, and I got kicked out just the week before the semi-finals. So I did alright.
Yeah, you did
For, you know, and do you know what? I love new experiences and I love music, so it was just a no-brainer to go for it. Like, even if you go back and look at it and you go, oh my god, cringe, like.
Did you ever jive with Mick Flavin?
No.
Roisin jealous here
Can
now.
genuinely say, but you know what? Then years later, only maybe two 2 years ago. Mick Flavin was playing up in Scrahy and Ger Gormley was in Gloria Tira. He asked me to do warm-up act then for McFlavin. So here I was on stage again with McFlavin in Scry. And I was going, oh my god, this is so weird. Like, you know. And I actually worked in the pharmacy in Drumlish, and his wife always used to come in. So I'd have met his wife so many times before I'd even met Mick, you know. It was just an unreal experience. But again, all through music. Music's great.
Music and dancing. Country weekends. What's next, did you say, Roisin?
Dundalk, Jimmy Buckley's the weekend then.
Jimmy Buckley.
Buckley.
What about Claudia's class too, his daughter?
Yeah, she is one next weekend in the Abbey. But my sister's getting married and it's her hen party that weekend.
Oh wow! Where are you going for the hen party?
Not the Abbey, unfortunately. She wouldn't agree. She wouldn't agree that we're going to Galway, so
Brilliant.
that'll be good crack, obviously. No jiving,
You
I
could
would
have done a country weekend as the hen party.
I don't know if she would have appreciated that
No,
one.
no.
It's her special weekend.
We'll set aside the driving for a weekend.
What would you say are the happiest memories that stand out? Something simple maybe in life that's happened to you maybe? Could be that toy you got, Sean, for performing.
That one tune.
Yeah.
My music memories, the friends you meet, the people that, as you say, that make connections with you never think you ever would. So a lot of the music stuff would be a lot of my happy memories from growing up.
Did you meet your wife through music?
Did actually, yes.
There you go.
Best give that a mention.
Good save. Yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, so we met at a mutual friend of ours, their wedding in Harvey's Point.
Lovely.
Didn't know each other until then. And then she is Castledare connection, so her mum's parents lived in the Cavan Road.
Oh wow.
John and Elizabeth Doherty, so Shauna Doherty, her mum.
Shauna Doherty as in Alan and
Alan
David's sister?
Yeah, yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
That's my mother-in-law.
I remember her.
She taught a few of my cousins even whenever she was in Drumnabay. She was a teacher there for a while, and she was in St Carol's as well.
There you go.
Small world.
Really is a small word. You hear things like that.
I know.
What about you, Roisin? What sticks out? The hay rides?
I don't know. It's a weird one, but lockdown. So the first lockdown, so I had finished school then in March, and it was like just a long summer, and it was great weather. And then when things started to open up, it was so great. Like you could just go back to a wee bit of normality, but it was like something so new, like getting out again. And I don't know, like the summer you leave school and before starting uni, supposed to like graduating and being done with your degree and like getting out to teach, probably be the main ones that I remember.
Yeah.
But COVID, it's weird, like your lockdown, but it was a weird time, but it was
nice.
It was nice. You're in your family.
wasn't
It was really lovely weather.
We had a lot of music sessions in the garden, which we would never have had only for COVID, like. But they're great memories of my wee two kids running around the garden and us all playing music around.
Wow.
Yeah, we had loads of music set. Probably shouldn't be. It was all outside, you see, so it was okay.
It was okay for the politicians. It's okay for you there.
Well, exactly. Going on from that then, what has been the best advice you've ever been given?
It's not advice, but it was a saying that I was told. An old AghyNarnia manager, actually, Peter McAnaw, would say after a game that maybe you'd been expected to win, maybe. And he would have said, if it was the end of the world, there'd be thunder and lightning. So that's something always stuck with me. So that's something I would use regularly enough, actually.
Yeah.
Would be that one, just to keep plugging away. And
Keep your chin up, just.
Must remember that one. Right? And you, Rashi?
One I remember my dad would have said is like, don't let someone do you wrong twice. It was a different way of saying it, but I'll say it the politer way. But it was like, if someone does you wrong, don't put your trust in them. Don't put your trust or faith in somebody else if they've already done you wrong. That sort of way.
That's a very good one too,
Yeah.
actually, isn't it?
I suppose back yourself would have been always one.
Yeah, it takes a while just to trust yourself.
Yeah.
If you feel somebody has actually wronged you and
Yeah.
maybe broke your trust even.
But Dad used to always say that, is don't let somebody do you wrong twice.
Kind of like lightning. There's a theme
Yeah.
there between the two of you. Not lightning at the same
Probably
place
like
twice.
similar paths.
We both worked in Lockderrick. You mentioned that earlier too. You
Yes,
worked in
actually,
Lockderrick,
yeah,
yeah.
we worked a lot there as
You
well.
both worked in Lockdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
There you go. What did you do in Lockdown?
I was first aider for a while, and then a wee bit in the office just.
I was receptionist.
Have you ever called into action for first aid?
Cuts on feet and things. Nothing
No
too
dramatic.
Nothing too dramatic.
Did you ever do Lockdown?
No comment.
No comment?
Andy, did you?
Never.
I did.
Me?
Did you?
Yeah. Myself and Breach McGrath did.
Right?
When we were like 16. We went off to Loughdare for 3 nights. Was it 3 nights or 2 nights?
Two nights.
2 nights. Aye, it was a tight one.
Everyone always says, how many times have you done it? And I just go like, I do my penance on this side of the country.
Yeah.
That's my line always. I do my penance on this side of the country.
You're better than me. I always said 2.
I didn't lie at least.
I think the saying was, if you've ever done it once, you'll do it 3 times.
Yeah.
And me and Bridge were like, no, we've done it once, we're never doing that again.
I've done the 1-day pilgrimage now.
Yeah.
More straightforward.
But that's
Few
staying
hours.
up at night and praying and chanting the whole night. Oh my God, that was so tough.
And you're talking about basic rations there as well in terms of food.
Oh, like
Unlocked
toast and black tea.
Dry toast.
Dry toast and black tea.
Once a day.
Once a day.
Or you
Yeah.
or the soup.
I don't remember any soup.
Boiling water, salt and pepper.
No.
Is
We
it?
went, we went with toast.
Which is the better option there.
Yeah. Oh man.
You're eating the toast all soggy, Sean, just
Yeah.
make it more edible for you.
Yeah.
That's mad. But I suppose it is a pilgrim. It's supposed to experience.
We met an awful lot of nice people, good people.
Yeah.
You hear a lot of
Yeah.
stories and it's mad, like some of the stories will make you a wee bit like emotional sometimes.
Yeah.
And certain people like will stick out to you and you remember them from year to year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So Loughdare, here you go. That's another connection you said, yeah.
I know, yeah.
I think it actually was your mum that initially mentioned it that made us go
well,
for it. Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
She's like, it's a handy wee job for them, so
Yeah.
that's why we went for it then.
No, we worked very hard.
Oh yeah. Take going at times, really take going.
So how long a shift would you have done out there?
Like on a day,
On a day,
average
yeah.
day, so you could have had 8 hours. Like I had 12-hour shifts before. I remember one night it was like 9 to 9 on a Friday. We didn't even get something finished. There was a whole mix-up was one of the things, and like we had to get a late boat out after 9:30 and all. It was mad, but you could have done 12 hours. Most of them were usually in around 8-9 hours, but
Yeah, it wasn't too, or even like some of the first aid stuff, you might only have had to do 6.
yeah.
But then obviously it was 24/7, so you could have been the night shift line as well.
Yeah.
So it just depends on your.
And were you on rations too of your soup and toast and black tea?
To be honest, that's the main reason why I couldn't do it. It's because I know how well the staff are fed when they're there.
You actually have people ask you, like I've walked back to reception and said, what did you have for lunch?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like,
Do I
I don't
tell
want to tell you, make you like even worse. And she used to ask all the time, like,
Sirloin
"Okay,
steak."
yeah.
Homemade scones in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm actually getting hungry now. Just
Torture.
thinking about it. Well, maybe this next one will be easy enough. Who would you say is the greatest influence in your life so far?
Overall influence, I'd have to say my parents. To what they've done for me and the opportunity they've given me. I'd go Granda for my music, obviously for the person that sort of helped start that one off.
There's the mouth organ,
Yeah, making noise out of that.
10 All-Ireland champion. That's
well,
Well, you see, there you
not
go.
in the mouth organ.
Can you play the mouth organ
I
now?
cannot play the mouth organ. That career started and ended very quickly.
I realised quickly there's another instrument out there for me, and that
Yeah.
was the accordion.
And that was it.
My 2 sons are playing the accordion. Well, they've just started
Yeah.
last year. It's a bit of a fight to get them to practice, but they go once a week.
It's pretty good.
I think that maybe touches back on what we were talking about earlier. There's more distractions these days for kids.
Yeah, flat out with soccer and Gaelic.
There's a lot of commitments.
Yeah, and then school, homework. Yeah. So fitting it into their schedule, and then I feel guilty then that we're out and we're in, we're out. You know, the running as well with it.
Yeah.
That do I really need to push it on them? I always say to them, you could get an injury and you could be out with your
Yeah.
career in sport. They're mad for a career in sport. Connor Bradley is a big influence for them, but I always be, saying like, once you learn music is for life, and you can take it anywhere with you in the world. You can go off and travel. You can actually make a living out of it. Could fund your college. This is a great way to earn some money.
But even on a night out, like where just somebody picks up an instrument and
Oh,
everybody just starts to listen.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience. Obviously our whole family is so musical that when we do have the get-togethers, I want my 2 boys to get involved.
Keep them at it, Claire.
I had my poor mother's head tortured when I was growing up because I used to practice before school. In the
Oh
morning.
God!
Whenever she would be getting the younger ones out and away, maybe getting them changed or whatever. So I just take in to play the accordion. She's like, sure, we have to go. We're gonna be late for school here.
Oh, that's
So
brilliant.
that's where I was just snuck in a wee bit of practice.
Yeah, before school.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Roisin?
Probably again my parents. I initially thought my mum, but I suppose my mum and dad. But no, just everything. They always did their best for us and wanted the best for us, even at times when we couldn't see it. Like she always laughs at this. Obviously became a teacher, but say going to school when I was younger, like I never wanted to go. Could have put this into the advice thing. She was like, you have to go to school till you're 16. You may make the best of it. That's what she always used to say to me. But yeah, just pushed us to do well and suppose get somewhere for ourselves and make sure we were sorted that way. But they always would have done anything for us. Suppose that's a good trait to have and a good thing to look back on.
Yeah, I think you always appreciate discipline later in life when you finally understand they made me work that bit harder.
Or they had them rules or whatever for
for a reason. Yeah.
You might have liked it when you were younger, but you see the benefit of it now.
I don't care if you're out last night, you're going to mass.
Yeah.
Every Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So if you could recommend a book or a TV show or a movie, what would it be and why?
I don't watch much TV.
Okay.
But the one thing I would say, and it will link, is that show Adolescence.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
I asked my pupils about it after some of them had watched it to see how much of this, because they'd seen it as well, as how much of this here is relevant to you as going on that you would be aware of. And they said it does go on. Now they did say whatever the emojis they use are different, so it doesn't translate that way, but they would have different meanings for different things as well.
Wow.
It's a good watch now.
It's a hard watch.
Enjoyable is not the right word, it's a very
Interesting
eye-opening.
and eye-opening and scary watch,
Oh, yeah.
to be honest. Yeah.
And the episode with, I think it's the third episode, is the psychiatrist goes in to visit and like the emotions
Wow.
that she has to deal with.
Yeah.
And what I thought about it in terms of teaching was that's her with one. Now multiply that by 20 in a room with everybody with their own different needs. Now maybe not to the extreme. Well, in some cases, some schools it might be that extreme. But I was like, my God, it brought back memories for me. Just things were triggering.
But he come across as such a normal, nice boy, and the parents, normal, nice parents, and you're going, that scene actually with the psychologist really was like, wow.
Just flip the switch.
Yeah.
At the end of the first episode, you actually kind of believed what he was saying. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
and
didn't.
you were
really.
expecting something else.
Even though you saw the video. Do you know? Like, so you know at the start he's done it, but it does.
Yeah, but he had convinced his dad before that video that, no, this
No,
wasn't
definitely
me.
not. No.
Have you seen this, Roisin? No?
No, I haven't. Because I've heard some people talking about it and they say it's a hard watch, and I'm kind of like,
You
I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
It is a
I
hard
don't
watch,
know.
but it is relevant for a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. It's funny, like, I watched all 4 episodes on a Sunday, and the next morning I was going to school, and when I arrive at 8 o'clock, there's a police car sitting out the front. Now, I was thinking in my head, this is just the next episode of Adolescence.
Yeah.
But for me, like, seeing a police car in the town I work in, it's nothing new to me, but it turned out to be the day of the bomb hoax that was in our school, 109. And like I was only there 15 minutes and we were told like school's not opening.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to tell me twice, I was away. It was such a beautiful day. In fact, I actually spent that day to go and visit Sadie McSorley.
That's right, yeah.
I had a good yarn with her that day. I was there for about an hour, like, in the sun, just out in her front garden. It was just such a different day, but it all led from the previous day watching Adolescence, and there's my own version of it the next morning. But what I was going to say was the 4th episode. Sorry, Russian, there's spoilers in here.
That's okay. Spoil away.
I actually haven't watched it. 'Cause
Oh,
I
right, so
watched
maybe
it up as far as the psychologist.
Well, all I will
side.
say about the 4th episode, there's a scene where they get into the van to go and get some paint. That scene, and the way they shot it, where it runs the way throughout, I thought it was such a powerful, because there's such a contrast on the drive there and the drive back. I'm not going to say
Right,
more
okay.
than that,
Okay.
but I thought that was amazing. But
Yeah.
again, it comes down to the actors and the story.
Yeah. It was done very well now.
But definitely, it's a good
So it's a
recommend
good
for
recommendation,
Roisin
yeah.
to watch anyway, at least. What about yourself, Roisin?
I'm much more lighthearted in my TV shows. Like
That's a good thing.
one of my favourite is Dairy Girls. I
Oh, yeah.
love Derek. It's just such a classic. I remember during my exams in second year, the new season had come out, and I remember sitting like after I'd done one of my exams, I would take like an hour to myself for my next one and watch an episode of Dairy Girls. But it's just lighthearted. It's funny. It's from where we're from. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
when it's
Irish.
from, yeah.
But no, I like lighthearted kind of stuff.
But that's an amazing show. Like, even the way the experiences that it touched on, like with Oma Bomb, especially when that scene ended, they're watching Oma Bomb. And I remember standing there watching it on the TV.
I was in bar shop
And
in Hamilton's.
In
I was
Hamilton's.
working in Hamilton's that day.
It showed the life of like the young girls going through it and how it was just happening while they were growing up,
Yeah.
I suppose.
It's like
And it's
normal.
different,
There was
yeah,
bomb
like
scares and
the grandfather and
Uncle Colin.
So,
Uncle Colin.
You could relate to all those characters, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dairy Girls.
Oh yeah. What's your one with the black curly hair? Michelle. Oh, I love her. I think she's class.
And the nun, Sister Michael.
Yeah.
That whole first episode.
2% trying to mind now. The nun dies. Is that the
Yes.
Is that the first one?
Invitation? Oh, yeah.
It was because there was no. It was James's
Yes.
first day at school. Yeah.
The crying was a different one. Was that with the
Aye, that was the exams. There was a crying statue. Yeah.
It was so well written.
Last episode, I think the Good Friday Agreement episode's really.
Yeah, it was powerful.
It's and like the grandfather talking about it now. It's like kind of hard hitting. It's like, oh gosh.
Leave it. Tommy Tiernan's character, the way the grandfather just kept putting
Oh,
him
putting
down.
him down and all.
And then
Oh,
Uncle Colin,
Jerry.
you mentioned just like an Uncle Colin, like person.
I remember saying to myself, says I,
Yeah.
he's
He was
superb.
brilliant.
Like, and you were saying that, but you were at school at home at that time?
I
or-
was at school in Oma. Yeah, the time of the Oma bomb.
Home
yeah.
bomb, yeah.
And I had been in Jesus Christ Superstar with Blair Gallagher.
Yeah, I know what
She
you're on
lost her
about.
sight. She's big into her music now too, and I just see now she's got a podcast out.
Right?
Yeah, I must get the name of it and promote it. Yeah, she's been an inspiration since, like. But oh my god, that was Roisin was on the bridge and she was in a car and the windows came in, and I remember coming home from work that, and then while I was in work, I kept hearing about certain people in my class had died, and then you're all upset, but it wasn't true. And then come home, and I remember my sister just sitting in the chair rocking, like 'cause she had got out of the car and went to people and recovering bodies and mental
Yeah, the trauma that's
trauma of it. Yeah.
it's with you for life. Because even we both know Sean O'Hagan, and I
Yeah.
remember there was like maybe it was an anniversary show BBC had done. It was so many years since the Oma
But
bomb,
even recently.
and
too.
recently as well,
Aye.
yeah.
It's so triggering for them.
And he'd paused the TV screen and he goes, "Do you recognise that guy?" And it was like the rubble and the smoke, and there he was. Just you could see his two eyes just staring back, and he was there, like
Sean?
Sean, yeah. And
Really?
I know, like to this day, like how difficult those memories are for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I know even for my sister there, when she was saying like they're all was being talked about, and you're hearing the victims' statements and all now coming out, it has really affected her, like,
Yeah.
because it just brings it all back, I suppose.
Okay.
Even all the medical staff, and there was no
Yeah.
counselling back
No
really in those
counselling, no
days.
nothing for them.
Just you're expected to go out, get up and go to your work again.
Mm.
Such a sad time, like. So Dairy Girls,
Dairy
Roisin.
Girls would probably be my.
But I need to tell this story.
I know. I knew it was
I
going to come
have
up.
to tell this story because
Okay.
in our tea room there is always conversations, and sometimes it's TV. So
Yeah.
we got into a discussion one day of John Candy, and I was talking about it. I had like an argument with my brother about which was better, Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2, and we both had our arguments, but at the end of the day the argument was over whenever I said, well, Home Alone 1 is John Candy, and end of story, and he agreed with that, and that was it. It was dispute over. But I was telling this, and Roisin was like, "Who's John Candy?" And I was like, "Shame on your parents, Roisin, shame on your parents." And then I sent away with homework to do, to watch some movies, but I don't think she's done it yet.
I was too busy. I was very, very busy for the weekend, doing very important
So like it.
dancing.
So it became like a running joke. And then at the very end, you'd got me this lovely gift at the end of your PGC placement, and a lovely message. It said like, to the chairman of the John Candy fan club. And a beautiful
I got
mug.
that much slagging.
Oh, very good.
And it was a beautiful mug that you got me. It was like all these different pictures of John Candy from his different movies over the year. Like, and
Brilliant.
love it.
It was me researching who is John Candy, and I was like, right, I have to
Yeah.
kind of show this in the end of it.
Yes.
Very good.
So Uncle Buck, yes, go and watch Uncle Buck.
Buck
That's what I do
Racing.
recommend.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I will do. I definitely will do that.
So the last thing we want to talk about is what makes AghyNarnia so special, and what's the thing that sticks with you? What makes home basically? What is it about AghyNarnia that makes it so special to live and grow up here?
You've kind of said my answer in your question there. It's home. See, I'm out of home at the moment. When I come home, it's to Polyairnie. It's not back to the house up in Belfast.
Yeah.
The people, your family are there, your memories of everything.
Mm.
Obviously the likes of music and the club and all are all close as well. So it's all things that were and are such a big part of who you are.
Yeah, you would say you live in Belfast or Carryduff,
Yeah.
but my home
Yeah.
is AghyNarnia.
A teacher in school will say, "Are you going home this weekend?" Try to distinguish between home and just home.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. It's hard to put it into words actually.
Yeah.
How great a place it is. Like I can just say from my experience of like I lived so many years in Oma, and then I was living in Derry, and then just out of circumstance I ended up coming back here, and my God, I just find it so calm and relaxing being back at home.
Yeah.
It really is. It's difficult to put into into words in such a way, like. But I'm gonna let Roisin try.
Again, it's like I remember when I was younger going on holidays, like family holidays and stuff, but I always look forward to getting home. It was always just getting back home, and there was something so exciting about getting home. I was like I am a homebird. I suppose your family's there, it's where you grew up, it's where your memories are, but it's the best place like in the world. Like even in school, I remember one of my friends, she went to Newcastle and she was like, I can't wait to get out of Oma. And like we were so different in that way. She was like, you want to live on the road you grew up, like you want to build your house in AghyNarnia, stay there. I'm like, yeah, like it's where you've made all your memories, and I suppose you have so many happy memories there, and you want to have that experience, I suppose, when you have a family of your own or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But it's the best place ever. It's just getting home, and it's, I think, again, peaceful. It's so calm, and you can go outside and it's just quiet, and there's no hustle and bustle and all the rest.
You
But
have a full conversation with yourself and nobody else there to listen to.
but there's so there's again, there's not very much to AghyNarnia, but what there is amazing, I think.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Tell us about that here, right? In the Beals.
Right, so no, we used just to go down, and so my uncle was a farmer, and there used to be hay day, and it was the best day. So it would always be like sometime in the middle of July, but there used to be they used to make hay bales, like the square bales.
Yeah.
And we used to go down to help us, probably 9-10 years of age. Probably more of a hindrance, but anyway, everybody went down. Like, we would have all went down, my aunt and her family, and there just would have been maybe 10 of us. And we used to just roll Dad would be stacking the bales up. We would just roll the bales over, but it was more just getting down and running. It was the best running about the hayfield.
It's like when everybody gets together, and it's the same with home.
Yeah.
When everybody comes home together at one time.
We were younger too. John James Moss lived over the road, and me, Roisin and Kevin always used to go out and help him farm. So like that too, my memories of home are in the field opposite the house and him baling the hay, and then once they were done, we used to leg it and play hide and seek in the bales. But we would have been shot if there was any holes. If we made any holes, we were dead.
You were climbing over them. It was just good. It was good fun.
Yeah, good
It was always like we were going down to help, but it was really Dad was going down to help. We were just going down to be there in the middle of it all.
We always got sweets after it as payment.
Seems to be a way in AghyNarnia, there's always sweets involved.
Yeah.
Like I remember those trips, hay baling, like you just wanted to be on the back of the trailer on top of the hay.
Yeah.
Quite dangerous, but
You don't see that when you're 9 or 10 years of age. It's just good crack.
I think that pretty much wraps up everything. Thanks to our amazing guests today. First time we had two
Thanks very
guests.
much, thank you.
Great to have you here. Thanks to my wonderful co-host Claire. Thanks as always. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please join us again next time.
Chronicles of AghyNarnia.
Thanks again to our wonderful guests today, Sean Dolan and Roisin McAnaw. But Sean, it would be remiss of us if we did not ask you to play a few tunes on that button accordion that you brought with you. What special treats have you got in store?
This tune's a hornpipe. It's called Jimmy McHugh's Hornpipe, and the reason I actually chose it is because Jimmy McHugh was originally from Corgry, but he spent most of his life in Scotland, but he started it off here in Corgry.
folks, playing us out this week is an absolute gentleman, a future doctor, an All-Ireland champion. Please give it up for John McGlinchey and his banjo. Enjoy.
to AghyNarnia and beyond.
The Chronicles